Hey, lovely people. Here we are again for another SMACKDOWN Flip-through. Sorry, can't do that without laughing and shouting. SMACKDOWN! Sound sorted out. I've got my microphone on straight away, like a good boy, so everything should be fine. And this is 3 journals, and this is something very dear to my heart. These are called The Owls of Winter's Keep, and they are inspired by a little short story that I wrote. I wrote a little story about Sebastian de Winter, who was the keeper of winter, and the owls who watch him. And you get a copy of it printed on coffee dyed paper in with each of the journals. So made 3 of them. All slightly different, but of a theme, and I hope you enjoy. So without further ado, we'll move 2 of them out of the way, and we'll start with the simplest, which is this one, which is just chunky, but it's just a single signature. Covers made out of, this is kind of a napkin, not a napkin, it was actually a tablecloth, but it's one of those disposable tablecloths, and then just some die cuts and a nice little owl picture. So, and there we go, off we go. So, front cover, lots of owls, and another. You get the picture, you see, you kind of get it. And then a big tag in a big windowed pocket with a little owl cluster, and there's the tag. I love this picture, so I love it. And there is all sorts of stuff in here. So this is a bit of scrapbook paper that I have oxided, still on my fingers a little bit, oxided all over, cut a window out, made little clusters. This is the backing papers, wallpaper, this blue stuff. So yeah, but I love this. I love doing this. So, and I started, and it was supposed to be a winter journal, and I like owls, and I'm a winter baby because I was born in January, so I like winter. And yeah, it just kind of evolved from there, and we ended up with a story. I wrote a story, which, like I said, you get a copy of. If you buy the journals, there's a copy. There's extra free spins and up to 1. Sorry, my iPad decided to give me an advert and sound, but it's gone again. Little flip out. Oh, move it that way a bit. Ba 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 ba. We'll check William Morris paper, 'cause I love a bit of William Morris. Little owl. Lots of coffee dyed, lots of inked and grunged, and I had great fun playing with this, making it wintry. So, a couple of tags. And we're catching up finally. So we're into winter now. We've done Halloween, I've done Christmas, now we're into winter. I've got these 3 to show you, and then I've got 3 more winter ones, which are from a digital kit of Dave's. That's just a book page from a sketchbook. Journaling card, double journaling card in a page bound. Yeah, I've got these 3, and then I've got 3 that I made from a winter kit that Dave designed, which is as yet unreleased. And again, I've said this before, handmade paper. I'm very lucky that I get to do all this printing for him, because I get lots of samples, offcuts, stuff that you're maybe not going to get in a kit. Oh, I don't want to go back in, there we go. And I have lots of stuff to play with. So I played with this winter kit because it inspired me straight away, and winter came and went, and it didn't get released because he's still working on it. Journaling card. And then we decided we would, well, for his winter kits, they will be released, because it's just a book page from the Book of Hours, part of a tag, just a little offcut snippet. Ooh, Don't know where that came from. Label that shouldn't be in there. Another little short tag with a tear off bit at the bottom taken out. What was I saying? What was I saying, people? This is a little pocket. Yep, little pocket. It's part of an envelope. Yep. Owls. Pop that back in there. Hang on a minute. Let me think about this. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So we'll back up a bit. So this one, inspired by the story that I wrote, is like the first iteration of this story, because since I made these journals, the story's expanded, I've written a bit more, it's fast turning into quite a big story. It might even be novel worthy at some point, but we'll see. You never know. Watch this space, and Dave and I are going to design a kit together so that I can do another version of this. So watch this space. At some point, probably this Christmas coming, 2023, yeah, December 2023, there'll probably be a Christmas kit of the Owls of Winter's Keep, or a Winter's kit rather than. It's a little envelope from Marty Mays, from, I believe, one of her Facebook freebies or some such thing. And hang on, another one, and then owls with journaling space on the back in a little toque, and then just a little tuck at the back, and then a big tag. You know I like a big tag, big owl tag on the back page in a vellum pocket with a nice little frame on it that's been beautifully oxided to give it a grungy, wintry look. And that is the first one. That's the single signature version of the Owls of Winter's Keep. Hope you like. Oh, we'll move that, and we'll move on to this one. So this one is slightly longer. I'll take the binding off. Slightly longer, and it's 3 signatures, so slightly taller, should I say. So we'll try and position it so it gets in camera. Bear with. There we go. And then again, similar theme, big pocket. Lots of wallpaper used in this one. So white stuff's wallpaper, the blue stuff's wallpaper. There we go. There is my little The Owls of Winter's Keep. There's the story. And there's a list of all the owls. They all come in pairs, and I did research. I didn't just like come up with names. All of these names are derelict castles in England and Scotland. So if you look them up, there are at least the footings left of the castle, but they're all derelict castles. So that goes in. All of them have got copies of that. So big tag, inner tuck. And like I said, similar theme, just a bigger version. Yeah, flip outs, eco-dyed paper, William Morris, something like moustache, bit of wallpaper, music on the back, snowdrops. Oh, a couple of tags with owls on. Lots of Tracy labels appearing everywhere, as they normally do, as is my way. A very grungy piece of paper that I made, which is just stamped and inked for journaling on, in a page band. So extra journaling space. Another illuminated page taken straight from my book. Oh no, that's a layered tag. Thought it might be 2, but it's not. Like I said, it's been a while. These have been sat here for a while because I've been working on more of this. Like I said, this will have a new version. An owly postcard. And then, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Dave's Digital. So my next 3 journals that I'm going to show you after this video are using winter kits which Dave designed. Dasher Dave. Stash of Dave for his digitals, but Dash of Dave on YouTube and Etsy and all good places where crafters can be found. Ko-fi, Buy Me a Coffee, Pinterest, all of them. He's everywhere. And these are, and I lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah, did Christmas kids. too busy trying to get you to go and find him. Not yet. Wait until I've finished, and then go find him. Yeah. All you have to do is open the box underneath, because I always have links to him. He is my little bestie. We do stuff together. We do stuff apart. But he is my best friend and my best crafty buddy. So he's always linked in my description box below, so you can always go and find his Etsy store and look at his digitals, or go watch his YouTube if you so wish. Please do. Please feel free to go and do that. But yeah, so he designed some winter kits which have not been released yet because they were just a bit late for this winter, and I loved them, and like I said, because I'm very lucky that I do his printing, it meant that I got to see them and went, oh, play with them. So I did. Double journaling card. So I did play with them, and I've made 3 journals which I'll show you, and then you just have to wait for the kit to appear. So that is the inside of one of those. I die cut that out for one of the pockets at the front and the back in the journals, and I thought, we'll use that. It's a nice shape, so I did. And our postcard, and there was a flip out, lots of page edges, lots of flip outs, lots of tucks, lots of writing space. I always say lots of writing space because I like writing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be writing space. You could use it for all sorts of stuff, doodling, pictures, big tags. And this is all handmade paper, which came from a very nice art shop in Huddersfield that we really like to go and visit. And they have a little upstairs bit, and we go upstairs and I go mad just buying silly bits of paper, which then sit in my stash for ages and ages until things like this inspire me to go, oh, I can do that with that, and off we go. So there's lots of William Morris, there's lots of prints of wallpaper, which I thought kind of fit the bill. That's from somebody's kit. I think it might be out in Maze again, but I'm not sure, from a collage page. They made an ickle paper clip, which just will tuck back on that. Up that. And I'll tuck the tag back under. And then, oh, I've got a funny, now that I've just seen that with a bit of red at the bottom, I've got a funny feeling you're going to see a pair of footprints at some point. I have this pair of footprints which just seem to appear everywhere. Another envelope which flips out, a bit of bar with the ickle journaling card. Oh, that way up, it's got an owl on it. And then this, oh, take this out, this paper clipped in. This you can journal on the back, but it has a huge tag in it. This was an illuminated page that I just cut the religious picture out of, because terrible as it is, I'm not particularly religious. I'll say that quietly. And so I love this, but the baby jeebus didn't do it for me. So off he went. There we go. There. Lots of coffee down and some eco paper, actual eco paper. Footprints, I knew there'd be footprints. I have hundreds of them. I don't know what possessed me to go mad and print so many, but you'll see it quite a lot in my journals because I have a lot of it. I really do. Ooh, that was stuck together. There we go. And then nice big tag at the back, again in handmade paper. Oop, and another one. Excuse my furry arm. It's cold here. Been raining all day. We had snow. Weirdly, a lot of people around the world, I've heard people in Canada say the same thing, and I've heard people in America say the same thing. We had snow. It snowed a lot. It got quite deep. They even stopped the public transport running and stuff like that, so I couldn't get to work one day. But it lasted about 48 hours, and then it's gone. There's no sign of it. So just like that. So that's that one. Yeah. And then finally, oh, let's get rid of that. We have this, and this again is one of my 3 little W-shaped ones with 3 bits in it. So, and I love this. This is the front cover, and it flips open, and it flips open again. And there's a little notebooky journal in there. But the thing I love about this is, if you open it, it's a piece of printed vellum, and if you hold it up to the light, which I'm not gonna, because it means I've got to move it, light shines through it because it's vellum, and I love it. So this is just a die cut that's been layered several million times to make it chunky. And then yeah, inside, let's go over a bit so you can get it all in. So inside we have a couple of tags. Ta-da! And then there's a notebook. Little fox. There's me. Print out of a letter. Grungy paper. That's me playing with, that's Amazon packing paper. Just playing with paint and colours to decide what I was going to do. And then on this side we have, there's the story, The Owls of Winter Keep. It's very small, so you need glasses probably. And there are the owls. So just printed it smaller. And there's a tag, and they go in that little tuck. And then there's a vellum pocket, which has this in it. And then, because you know me so well now, there's a big one. There we go. So that's that. And then at the back, there's an even bigger one. And this one has a little pocket on it, but I've not put anything in it as yet. And this is similar to the, if anybody watched the Malika Keeper of the Menagerie flip-through, made in a similar way to that. So it's a carrier bag that was folded in half, and then all these bits are mounted onto it. Mounted on, oh look, there's one in there as well. Mounted onto it so that you can tuck a tag behind it. And that's what I've done. I've tucked tags behind all of it. So there are big tags. Ooh, let's see if we can get that back in. There we go. Oh, and that's, oh no, gone wrong place. Hang on. Hang on people. Hang on people. It needs to go. I'm not going to be able to do this now, am I? It needs to go in there. There we go. Bear with. Because I want to get it back if I can. just to prove point that I can. So that one's back in there, and then this opens up, and in here got a little pocket thing, and it's got largish on a piece of anaglypta, which goes in the back, and another one which goes in the next one down, another one which goes in the next one down. That's a piece of vellum that you can actually see through when there's light shining. There's my little journal that I showed you. We've done that side, so that's that flip. And then if you ignore the middle one and flip to the back, in the back I've got my usual, I usually do some sort of envelopey thing. So we'll do the big tags first. Oop, bah. One big tag. Oop, bah. Oop, oop, oop. That one's going to take a minute. These probably haven't been moved for a year, so whoa. There we go. 2 big tags. Actually 3 big tags, because there's one on the other side of that facing the other way. So I'm going to put those out of the way for a minute. And then this is like an envelope flip out. So if we undo, and we undo my little policy holders, which is quite pleased with, then that flips out, and it's got 2 little tags in. Now you just tuck it back in there, like that. And then there's this one, windowed envelope, and it's got that in, and we will pop that one back in there. Excuse my furry arm again. Like I said, it's chilly here. It's, I mean, it's not terrible, but there's a nip in the air, and so my furry stuff's needed. And then we've got a CD one, so with a round hair. Can you see that? You can. And there's another one that tucks in there. The little leaf. It's got a couple of things. Tim Hortons. Shh. Flip that out, and then there's a little tuck in a piece of vellum in there. Hang on, I need to move it that way a bit. There we go. Little tuck in a piece of vellum that goes in there, and a vellum tuck here, and then a big tag in here. Ooh. There we go, and that's that one. And then I'm not going to get all the tags out on the other side, but it's just a mirror image. So it opens, and it opens, and it opens, tag and tag. Flips back in, flips back in, flips back in. Bit of string which is actually sewn into, through, and then either side of me bit of elastic. Because it's on elastic, so you can take it out if you want. And then, ooh, shut that down and shut that down. And they're 2 bits of leather and a brad. That's what they are. So a punch, well, faux leather. Punch some faux leather. So that's that little booklet, and that's that. And that's the 2 little flappy bits. And then on this side, there's an actual 2 signature journal. So again, pockets. Ooh. We've got from the same sketchbook as the other one I showed you. Ooh. Double journaling card, and that goes in the big one. And then a large tag that goes in the next one, and a little tag, and that goes in the next one. And then big pocket on the front of this signature, and then lots of coffee dyed paper, and William Morris things, and ticking, and of William Morris, and coffee dyed, and book page, more illumination. Yeah, so that's one signature. Ba-da-ba-ba. Get to the back, there's another big pocket. Da-da-da. And I made lots of clusters with these leaves. And then the other one has a slightly different shaped pocket, but again, lots of owls. And this illuminated paper you see in the background was part of an Artie Mays download that I just happen to love because I like that sound. That for all that I'm not very real, I just will say that quietly. I love kind of the religious art, if nothing else. And then big tag. Ba, ba, ba. Another big tag. Again in handmade paper, and then another one of these big pockets. And this has got 2 journaling cards in. I've got all showy offy. So there's a pocket with bits and pieces overlaid to make a cluster, and then there's a big tag that goes in. But then I also made a second pocket with a clear plastic front, which is a pocket with a window in a pocket with a window and a big tag. So you could even do this. Oh, that's gone in front of my plastic, not behind it. How terrible is that? So you could tuck your tag in here, so my little owl shows up. No. And then tuck the whole thing in there, so the owl still shows up. Da, 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 da. There you go. So, and that's that one. And then it flips back around and it sits like that. It's quite a little chunky thing, but I love it. I love this shape for some reason, because it gives you a chance to have a real journal, a notebook, and an envelope flippy outy thing. And I love the envelope flippy outy things. There's just no denying it. So I'm going to put those back in there, and I will fix them afterwards. And that's it, lovely. So there's that one. Oop. There's a bit of Velcro caught. I nearly pulled my lace off. and then there's a 3 signature one, and there's a 1 signature one. And they are the Owls of Winter's Keep, the Watchers of Sebastian de Winter, the Lord of Winter. There you go. Hope you enjoyed. Slightly longer one. We're into winter now though, so we're catching up. Like I said, 3 more winter ones of Dave's kits, and then we're moving on to spring, and I've got several spring ones to show you, so that'll be quite interesting, hopefully. I will see you all soon in another video, and I hope you enjoy. Bye now.